morning, folks. It's Daryl. We're going to have a little cube steak tonight, and I'm going to cook it for one person. Now, you can double, triple, or quadruple this recipe depending on how many people you have, but this is going to be an Instant Pot recipe. I've got my Instant Pot on saute, and it's come up on hot, so it's ready. So I'm going to get right into this, and of course I've got my my old-fashioned here that it takes that for me to stay calm while I'm doing this. All right, we're going to add first 2 tablespoons of butter in there. Got to get my tool. I like this flat wooden spoon to do this. And first we're going to take a tablespoon of butter, 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to let them melt down here in this Instant Pot on saute. I am not a professional at this. You should know that by now. I'm sure you've seen some of my videos. Okay, the butter's just about melted now. So now we're going to add half a cup of chopped onions, and I chop them up about like that. We're going to put those in there. We're going to saute those, and we're going to get those hot and till they kind of start getting a little bit translucent. That's the way you want your onions when you saute them. And when they start getting a little bit translucent like that, then we're going to add our garlic. Do a lot of banging, don't I? Good cook bangs on the pot. One thing I do, being a single person like I am, is I will buy my cube steaks and my hamburger patties and my pork chops and all that, and I will single them out and put them in single packages like this, vacuum packed. So when I get ready to have one, I've got one ready to do, and I don't have to cook 4 of them. And that's what I have done tonight. I have one of them thawed out here, and that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to get this recipe down for just one guy. Oh, those are starting to get translucent now, so I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic. Now I use this crushed garlic in a jar, and I'm going to use about a half a tablespoonful. And I am going to saute that until it starts to brown just a little bit. We'll get that all stirred around in there good. Oh yeah, that's smelling good already. And that's just the onions and the garlic. We haven't even got started good yet. So y'all sit back and relax. I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can. I don't want to... I know a guy gets bored listening to some guy cooking something when you have to watch him slice up the onions and do all of that stuff. I don't do that. I have that ahead of time, so we don't have to do that. But boy, that's cooking fast. We're going to do this in the Instant Pot because I want that meat to be tender when I get done. And if you pressure cook that meat, it's going to be tender. So I'm almost ready I'm almost ready to put my gravy in there. I'm going to have some cream corn tonight. And I buy that also because I'm one person in a small can. I can eat most of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the pan and let it start heating up slowly. I'm going to put that on about 180 to start with, and I'll have to cut it down to 150 to let it stay warm once it gets done there. Now it looks like our garlic is starting to brown a little bit in there. And it looks real good. It is really cooking in there. But it looks good. Now we're going to go ahead and make the gravy. Get it done before we add the meat, of course. So for the gravy, I think I'm going to add the water first. I'm going to add 1 cup of water. Then I'm going to put in my brown gravy mix. I'm not really good at making gravy. I've made dough balls before trying to make gravy. It doesn't always come out good for me. I don't know why. I've watched them do it on TV over and over and over, and sometimes I get it, and sometimes it comes out in little dough balls, and I have to throw it away. Anyway, 1 cup of water, and then we're going to put the gravy in. There, we're going to mix this all up good. We're going to let that come to a boil again. And I am going to go ahead and add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of black ground pepper in there. Like that. And then I want it to cook in, so I'm going to go ahead. I like a little bit of red pepper flakes in most of my food, actually, not just some of it, or most of it. So I'm going to add a little bit of that. But now you don't want to overdo that because you don't want that too hot. If you're cooking it for yourself, you can make it as hot as you want to. If you have other people coming, well, you know, you have to be a little careful about that. Okay, now we're going to let this come to a little boil here. Let this gravy cook in good, mix in good, I mean, with these onions and this garlic. And that smells good already. Yeah, that's definitely looking like gravy. Sure, a lot better than some of the gravy I've made. Alright, she's starting to boil now. See it bubbling? Yeah. That means it's good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut off the saute, and I'm going to put this on pressure cook. But I got to put the lid on first, so I'm going to do that. Oh, wait a minute, Daryl. That'd be great. I'd have onion gravy with my corn. I forgot I got to add the steak in. So we got a nice little cut of cube steak here. We're going to just kind of lay that in there. We're going to make sure that the gravy is all over it and it's down kind of in the bottom and not on top. So we got, oh yeah, lots of gravy over the top of that. Now, in order to cook the cube steak, we have to put it on pressure. So we're going to put it on there, and we're going to set it for pressure. And And we're going to do this on pressure for 16 minutes. I read a recipe about this one time and it called for 20 minutes, but it had about 4 of those steaks in there. So I'm going to think that 16 minutes is going to be enough for this one steak. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that one steak in there for 16 minutes, and I'm just going to relax and wait. Did you read my my apron? Uh-huh. Here's to all my good friends out there in RV land and my friends. All right, we're going to check the corn here. I'm going to have some mashed potatoes with mine tonight. And this is the mashed potatoes that I use. I've already used half of this for another meal. I can't eat a whole bag of this stuff. So I half it, and then it makes enough for me. It's very easy to make. All you do is dump this in a bowl. Dump it in the bowl. Like so. And then you add 2 cups of water to this and stir it, hot water, boiling water to this, and stir it, and you have your mashed potatoes in just in a minute or two. Excellent. I like those. Those are very good, easy to make. This is a real quick, easy meal, and it will be delicious. I know that. So I'm going to put you on pause now while I let this steak cook. And in the meantime, I'll start heating up my water for my mashed potatoes, and my creamed corn is going to be warmed up in there in that little pan. I've got some French bread up here I'm going to cut up, and I'm going to have that with my dinner. So it's going to make an excellent dinner tonight. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm going to put you on hold now until this steak gets finished in the Instant Pot. Hi folks, I'm back. The steak is cooked. I'm going to do the quick release here on the Instant Pot. So we're going to do that. While we're doing that, I'm going to make the mashed potatoes. I've got my 2 cups of hot water here. And I just need a spoon to stir them with, and I put it somewhere and I don't see it. So I'll have to get in here and get it. Okay, here we go. No, that's right. Changed my mind. I'm going to use this. And I'm going to pour this hot water in here. I'm going to stir up these potatoes like this. Oh, look at that. How easy is it? How easy is that? 2 cups. That's what it called for, and that's what I'm using. The one thing I don't like about this particular tool is that everything clogs up in it. But not too hard to get it out when it comes to mashed potatoes. Anyway, these mashed potatoes are about done. Look at them babies. I didn't have to peel them. I didn't have to boil them. I didn't have to do anything to them. I put 2 cups of water in that powder, and I got these mashed potatoes. And I've tasted these before. These are good, very good. Taste good. All right, we'll set those aside. And we're still waiting for the little button you have an Instant Pot, you know what I'm talking about. This little button here, we're waiting for it to go down. It went down. Okay, so, all right. We'll take that off. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if this would have turned out like a chocolate cake in there, you would never have seen this video. But it looks like it turned out okay, so I'm going to take a look at her here and see what she looks at. There's what the meat looks like. Looks good, doesn't it? That ought to be real tender, too, I'm thinking. So, that gravy is just a little bit too watery for me. I need to thicken that up. So I'm going to put you on hold for just a second while I get some cornstarch. All right, I made a little what they call slurry out of cornstarch here. Cornstarch and water. And I am going to add that to my gravy because it's not thick enough for me. I'm going to go ahead and put this on saute. So that it will heat back up again just a little bit, so that I can thicken up this gravy with a little bit of cornstarch. I don't want to get too much in there because I don't want it to be like chocolate pudding or some such thing. But I do want it to thicken up. That's just not thick enough for gravy yet for me. That smells good. I think I'm going to go ahead and take this meat out of here. It doesn't need to be in here. I'm going to put it on the plate. So it's ready. And I'm going to go ahead and put my slurry in here. And I'm going to stir this up on saute. There is no reason when you're cooking why you can't have a little drink while you're stirring. Have you ever tried an old-fashioned? It's an excellent drink. Oh yeah, that gravy is thickening up nicely now. That looks really good. The corn's hot. The mashed potatoes are done. The gravy is thickening up and getting hot again. I'm going to let it just about get up to it almost boils again, I think. And then I'll cut her off. I like to cook. Can you tell? I'm here all by myself. I don't have anybody to talk to but y'all. So anyway, if you're cooking, enjoy it. Cooking is fun. You never know the outcome, but generally, pretty good. Can't complain. Oh yeah, see that gravy is looking like gravy. That's looking good now. That's it's got a nice, it's thick, the way gravy should be. Very nice. All right, now we're going to go ahead and load the plate. Get ready to eat. Now you got to realize I'm cooking for one. I'm not cooking for a whole herd. So that's why I only cook one piece of meat and I try to cut everything down. But if you're cooking for more people, you can use this very same recipe except just double or triple everything so that you have enough for more people. So far, I have my Gold Miner French bread on there buttered, and I have my cube steak on there, and I just need to get my You know, before I ladle the gravy on there, I think I'll put the mashed potatoes on there. So that I can go ahead and put it on them too. So I'm going to put my mashed potatoes on there. Pretty good portion because I like mashed potatoes. Now, one thing those potatoes look like they're missing to me, a little bit, is I'm going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on them. Just a little bit of salt, not too much. And a little bit of pepper. Oh yeah, that looks good. Then I'm going to add, now that I've got that part done, I'm going to add the gravy. Oh, it's boiling good now. I'm going to turn that off. All right, she's off. Look at this gravy. I'm going to put that on the potatoes. And I'm going to put that a little bit on the meat. I'm going to put a little bit more on the potatoes because I like a lot of gravy. Oh, that onion and garlic and that brown gravy makes that stuff really good. Now, we're going to add the corn. Corn's all heated up, so we're going to just add that corn in there. That little can that I showed you a while ago, just about enough for of a meal for one guy. So if you got a family and you're doing this for more people, well, you want to be sure that you use a big can or two of that stuff. Oh boy, that looks delicious. All right, y'all. I can't hardly wait to dig into it. But that's my meal for one guy for one night. And that's cube steak and onion gravy, cream corn, mashed potatoes, and gold miner sourdough French bread. Ooh, doggies, that's going to be good. All right, y'all. I'll see you down the road, Lord willing.